The bullet sliced through the warm afternoon air faster than anyone could think, let alone react. In that split second, when fear froze every witness on the sunlit street, Aura Madison moved. No hesitation, no calculation, only the instinct of someone who had already lived through enough pain to understand exactly what the loss of a child could do to a family. Her body lunged forward, her arms wrapping around the trembling little boy, and then everything went silent. A burst of white light swallowed the world, and she felt her knees buckle as the force of impact tore through her side. She didn't hear her own scream. She didn't feel herself fall. She only remembered thinking that the boy was safe, and that was enough. If you believe kindness still matters in this world, if you believe in second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Matters. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. The world returned to Aura slowly, like a sun rising behind thick morning fog. She felt warmth first, strange, soft warmth beneath her palms, followed by a faint hum in the air, almost like distant machinery. When her eyes opened fully, she found herself lying not on a street or a stretcher, but in a vast golden-lit room with glass walls so clear they reflected the clouds drifting outside. Her breath stuck in her throat. 20 faces surrounded her, some older, some young, every one of them dressed in crisp designer suits or casual luxury that radiated wealth. They watched her with worry, awe, and something she had never seen directed at her before, respect. Aura tried to sit up, ignoring the throbbing ache in her ribs. A woman with silver hair and the calm authority of someone who made billion-dollar decisions in a day stepped closer and gently pressed a hand to Aura's shoulder, urging her to rest. Aura's heart pounded. She recognized her. Everyone recognized her. She was Zara Helmont, the reclusive tech mogul with a net worth large enough to buy cities. Standing beside her was Orson Gale, the founder of a medical empire, Lion Rivet, the world-renowned philanthropist, and 18 more people whose faces Aura had only ever seen on magazine covers. Why were they all here? Why was she here? The memory hit her all at once. The street. The child. The gunman. The bullet. She clutched her side, expecting to find blood, but instead her fingers brushed clean bandages, smooth and professionally wrapped. Zara explained softly that Aura had been unconscious for nearly 2 days in a private recovery suite inside the Helmont Foundation, a facility known only to the world's wealthiest benefactors. When the news broke about a homeless woman who had thrown herself in front of a bullet to save a stranger's son, the story spread like wildfire. But what the public didn't know was that the child she saved happened to be the nephew of Lion Rivet, one of the most powerful philanthropists alive. Each of the 20 millionaires in the room had chosen to come in person after seeing the footage online, the same footage that now had millions of views, Aura running into danger while everyone else froze. Aura wanted to speak, but exhaustion and disbelief tangled inside her like threads she couldn't untangle. She had never been anyone important. For nearly 2 years she had lived hidden in the corners of Ridgeview City, under bridges, in abandoned buildings, inside the forgotten shadows of life. She had washed dishes in gas station bathrooms, lived off stale sandwiches, and kept her head low just to survive. Once, she'd been a promising art student with dreams of illustrating children's books. But life had tilted sideways the night her mother passed away from heart failure, leaving Aura buried under medical debt that swallowed everything she owned. She had lost her apartment, her college seat, and her sense of belonging. She learned quickly how invisible the world could make you when you had nothing. And yet here she was, surrounded by 20 millionaires who looked at her not with pity, but with honor. As the midday sun poured through the glass walls of the suite and draped the room in amber warmth, Zara explained how the group had assembled after a private virtual conference. They felt compelled to understand who Aura Madison really was. They had watched the footage of her risking everything for a child she had never seen before. They had read interviews with witnesses who described her last expression as one of determination instead of fear. Zara said that people like Aura were rare in the world, people who acted out of pure, instinctive goodness. They believed she embodied the type of humanity that their wealth often struggled to protect or restore. Aura listened in stunned silence as the group revealed that they had formed a collective called the Human Heart Council, an alliance of wealthy individuals who used their resources to champion extraordinary acts of kindness. She had never heard of such a group. Most people hadn't. They operated quietly, far from social media, choosing to uplift lives without turning charity into publicity. They told her she had been chosen for something special. But Aura didn't feel special. She felt tired, frightened, overwhelmed. She explained softly that she had only done what anyone should do: protect a child. Millions of people, she insisted, would do the same. The group exchanged looks, and Lion Rivet stepped forward, his voice steady but emotional. He told Aura that the world wasn't made of millions of people like her. Many ran from danger. Few ran toward it. Especially when they had nothing to lose and nothing to gain. As the sun moved across the sky and turned the room into gold and warm honey tones, Aura slowly shared her story. She talked about her mother, the debts, the illness, the collapsing world she tried so hard to hold together. She spoke about the days when hunger was a sharper pain than loneliness, and the nights when she slept near streetlights so she wouldn't be swallowed by the dark. The more she revealed, the deeper the silence in the room grew. She felt strangely unjudged, seen in a way she had not felt in 2 years. When she finished, Zara and the council exchanged a silent vote. Then Zara stepped forward with a small envelope and placed it gently in Aura's hand. Aura opened it with trembling fingers. Inside was not money, as she expected, but a simple handwritten note. "You saved a life. Now let us help you rebuild yours." The envelope also contained a custom ID card with her name printed beneath the words, "Helmont Foundation Resident Scholar." She blinked, confused. Zara explained that they wanted to fully sponsor Aura's return to her dreams: housing, medical care, therapy, education, and a stipend to live with dignity. They wanted her to finish her art program, publish her books, and share her talents with children around the world. Aura felt her chest tighten with a surge of emotion she hadn't let herself feel in a long time: hope, disbelief, gratitude that hurt like reopening an old wound. Over the next weeks, Aura recovered in the bright, sun-filled campus of the foundation. She walked through gardens blooming with tulips and marigolds, sketched under shaded patios, and sat at long wooden tables with world-class mentors who volunteered their time. For the first time in years, she woke up not listening for danger but listening to birds. She slept on soft sheets instead of concrete. She learned how to breathe again, slow, deep breaths that didn't hurt, with memories. But healing wasn't simple. She struggled with the guilt of receiving so much after having so little. Some mornings she would stare at the ceiling and ask herself if she deserved any of this. But the council members checked on her, gently reminding her that kindness was not a reward system, it was a cycle. She had shown extraordinary courage, and this was simply the world's way of circling back to her. The most emotional moment came on a bright afternoon when the little boy she saved, 7-year-old Rowan, visited her. His mother brought flowers and a hand-drawn card with shaky crayon lines. Aura held the boy close, tears slipping down her cheek as his small arms wrapped around her just as fiercely as she had wrapped around him on that terrible day. It was the closure she didn't know she needed. By the end of the summer, Aura had moved into her new apartment, a small but beautiful place filled with sunlight and warm wood. Her art supplies were neatly arranged on a long desk overlooking a garden. She had been accepted into an advanced illustration program, fully paid by the foundation. She had also begun illustrating her first children's book, a story based on a girl who saved a forest. The council members supported her launch, and her story reached libraries across the country. On the anniversary of the shooting, the Human Heart Council invited her to their annual gathering. When she entered the grand atrium surrounded once again by 20 millionaires, her steps were steady this time, not uncertain. They applauded her not for the bullet she took, but for the courage she showed afterward by rebuilding her life piece by piece. Aura felt her heart swell, no longer heavy from the past but full of purpose for the future. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Matters. Your engagement helps spread real stories of hope, courage, and humanity. Before you go, drop a comment saying kindness lives to keep the message alive. Thank you for watching.